You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to and watching the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz. Well, do you have holes in your financial bucket? You feel like you don't have enough thumbs because the financial dike is ready to give way? Then you want to hear and you want to listen very closely to my next guest. His name is Douglas Ez. The website that you want to go to is largofinancialservices.com. Doug has been through this many, many times over. His goal is to provide a vision to you, individual small business owner, give you the education, the guidance that you need to achieve financial freedom. And right now, financial freedom is a little different than it might have been in the past. Right now, financial freedom is not having to worry about what's going on here in the world, all the craziness going down. Doug, it's great to have you back on. So what's the first thing somebody should do when they start working with you?
Well, the first thing is to help them figure out where they're throwing their money away unknowingly, because they don't know they're throwing the money away, and unnecessarily, we could help them fix it. So because it's so hard for people to plan for their financial future if they're constantly transferring their wealth to somebody else. So we try to help them do what? Plug the holes in their financial bucket, so they don't keep transferring their wealth away to someone else. And some areas that we've seen that happen is the way they pay their mortgage, the way they pay taxes, the way they contribute to a retirement plan, like a 401k, IRA, those areas, even the way they save for their children's college. There's a lot of wealth transfers that occur there, and how they make major capital purchase, like planning a wedding, paying for vacation, all those things.
All those things. And what do you find most people do wrong in these areas, Doug? What is the biggest problem here?
So one problem we've seen is the way they do pay their mortgage. We've seen so many people make extra payment on their mortgage, right? And you're paying extra on your mortgage, not realizing that the financial institution that you're giving this money to, all they're doing is saying thank you. In your mind, you're thinking you're getting away, you're killing the interest, right? I paid less interest. I was supposed to pay them $100,000. I only paid $50,000 in interest because I paid off my mortgage early. Sounds good to you, but the only problem there is, do you think the bank is crying that they only made $50,000 off of you? The bank is not a human being. They are an entity. They are in business to make money. $50,000, guess what? That's $50,000 that's asset to them. That now they could loan it out quickly. All you did was just give them back their money, because they loaned you the money to buy the house. You gave it to them back plus half of the interest they could have got. So well, they could have got it in 30 years, but you gave it to them in 15 years or in 8 years or whatever way you give it to them. They got it back, and guess what they do immediately? They loan it out to other people fast.
Right. Yeah, so it's the whole game. What about this concept of taxes here? You're obviously your biggest expense, bigger generally than your mortgage, than anything else, are taxes.
Yes, taxes is another big part of people's financial wealth that's been transferred away. For example, for every dollar you earn, 40% of that dollar goes to taxes. And I'm talking about estate tax, property tax, income tax, utility tax. I mean, you can go on and all of that. And if you could save the amount of money that you could have paid out in taxes and save that money, imagine how much wealth you could build. Another thing that most people don't realize when it comes to their financial bucket holes is the place you're putting money. For example, every time we put money in a savings account and we earn interest on that savings account, guess what we have to pay? Taxes.
Taxes, yes.
We put money in a mutual fund, stocks. guess what happened? We got to pay taxes on the profit. So why keep paying all these taxes? And then some people say, oh, well, I have a 401k or I have an IRA, so I'm not paying taxes now. Well, yes, you're not paying taxes now, but you're going to pay it in the future. You're postponing the tax to the future. So if we could plug those holes for you, guess what? That's going to minimize a lot of those tax headaches.
All right. So a penny saved in taxes is basically a penny earned, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So when I'm looking at what to do here, how I go about doing this, it obviously calls for a different way of thinking, a different way of looking at your situation, your income, your expenses, and a totally different mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, big time. Totally different mindset. And because the bank, the media, the government, they've figured out a way to continue to do what? To brainwash the American people. Because if I could control your money, I control everything, right? So if they're able to control the money, which is why you sit down, you're watching television with your family, the media that's making money off of the advertisers start advertising to you, they target you now. Today's world is so easy to target people, right, on what they want you to spend your money on. Because money does two things. Either you're spending it or saving it. And guess what they want you to do? Spend it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So a penny not spent is like a penny earned too, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So our whole society is aimed at getting you to consume, to spend money on things that you don't need, making you believe you need the things you don't need, and not paying attention to the things you really do need, isn't it?
Right, exactly, big time. So it's just something that makes a big difference when you start paying attention to where your money is going. Unfortunately, so many people don't pay attention to where their money is going, the opportunity cost of their dollar,
Right. And then, people believe the people they shouldn't, and they disbelieve the people that they shouldn't disbelieve. For instance, this guy, Matt Damon, he thinks he knows everything about everything. We're not even talking politics. He's a little wise ass. And, he mistakenly sent somebody $10 million when he was trying to give a $100 refund. And this is the guy you're going to believe. I'm not picking on Matt Damon per se, but when you see celebrity endorsements, this is what you're dealing with, Doug, right?
Yeah, I mean, because again, go after, they so believe somebody on the media and television or even today's world on social media. And most people are not doing their research to find out exactly who they want to do business with and who they're getting advice from. So it's so important that you do your own research, understand, and then say to yourself, does this make sense to me? Because again, if it's too complicated, then there's something it's trying to tell you. So, I believe in making sure you do your research correctly. Don't just jump into an investment that you don't know nothing about. Unfortunately for so many people, we're always jumping into things based on emotion. We buy properties based on emotion. We invest based on emotion because somebody said, oh, I made money in this. And everybody want to go do the same thing to see if they could make some money the same way that person made money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed for sure. So obviously you're kind of a non-traditional financial person here. If Joe Sixpack's got $10,000 now, assuming he's listening to you about spending and saving and all that, what should Joe Sixpack be doing?
Don't just survive, thrive. The Financial Survival Network.
Goldterra Resource Corp is a gold exploration company that has assembled a highly prospective district-scale land position on the doorstep of the city of Yellowknife in Canada's Northwest Territories. Goldterra is currently focused on expanding and delineating gold resources at the company's Yellowknife City Gold Project, with a goal of discovering over 5 million ounces. With ready access to infrastructure and multiple high-grade gold discoveries, Goldterra is on track to re-establishing Yellowknife as one of the premier gold mining districts in Canada. Goldterra trades as YGT in Toronto and YGTFF on the OTC. For more information, go to goldterracorp.com. That's goldterracorp.com.
This is the Financial Survival Network, the information you need to thrive now more than ever.
Well, first thing I want to find out from Joe Sixpack is how did you get this $10,000? And how consistent are you going to have this money? Is it just a one-off? And for money to grow, unfortunately, so many people they're chasing the high return. Well, I have $10,000. Where can I invest it? Well, I don't just look at where you're going to invest it. I'm trying to find where else are you throwing money away? Because the key to growing your money is continuous contribution by constantly adding to it. So we need to find money in places that you're throwing money away first, plug the financial holes in your financial bucket first, and then take the money and add it to your savings. So that 10 grand, if you're putting away, let's just say $1,000, that's $1,000 more that goes into that 10 grand. It could be monthly, it could be yearly. So we need to first of all find all the areas that Joe Sixpack is throwing money away on knowing the necessary first before we start advising them.
All right. Well, I like that. It sounds like a very sensible, pragmatic approach. Can you tell us about some people you've helped in the past, what you've done?
Yeah, definitely. So I have a number of areas that I work with different folks at their levels. So I'll give an example. I worked with a bank recently where I helped the bank secure an investment for them where they actually purchased life insurance. And when I say life insurance, I'm not talking about life insurance on their life. I'm talking about life insurance as an investment. And it's called life settlement. A lot of people don't understand that, but that's something that there's people that actually sell their life insurance in an open market to third parties. And a lot of banks are able to invest in those things and purchase them, just like buying real estate. So the banks love deals like that. So we just do one for a bank, for them to, as an asset class, for them to buy and hold, and then they get a return on investment when that person dies. So that's one deal that we've done that's real good that we're excited about. And then other ways is for business owners, we set up a private pension plan for business owners using life insurance, especially if the business owner is cash flowing about, $250,000 in income, $500,000 in income. We could have a bank pay for life insurance on them and pay the premium. And then when the business owner retires or decides to stop working 20 years from now, 30 years from now, the insurance will start paying him a tax-free pension for the rest of his life. So there's opportunities for that. Yeah.
I like it. Sounds like you're definitely thinking outside the box. And I think in these days, you got to be thinking outside the box, or who knows, it's just what used to work doesn't look like it's working anymore, does it?
It doesn't. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of people today have lost so much money in their 401k plan, in their 403b, in their TSP accounts. They've lost money, and the key is protecting your money, being able to use your money when you want to use it with no penalties, because that's another thing. When an opportunity presents itself, will you be able to take advantage of that opportunity? Which is why I always preach, always park money in a vehicle that will give you access to funds quickly so that you're liquid, but you're still earning compounding interest, and you could borrow against it, which is where we talk a lot about cash value life insurance for people to use and invest in real estate, buying, properties, doing line of credit for their business, instead of them doing a home equity line of credit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like it. And it sounds like you got a lot of these opportunities, a lot of these hacks. I would call them financial hacks almost, right?
I love it. Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
Financial hacks.
Financial hacks. Because really, mainstream financial thought is you buy, you hold till retirement, and then you'll have so much more money, you sell it. In the meantime, everybody's been getting a piece of you for decades, and you wind up with so much less than you could have. Now, granted, there are ways to minimize that through like ETFs and things like that, but you got to try a hybrid approach, I think, right?
Yeah, you got to always, diversify fully. Unfortunately, people are not fully diversified because what happens is they have a 401k work and they invest in the market. And then they go to another account with T. Rowe Price and they open up an IRA over there. But it's still the same thing. You're still in the market. So how are you fully diversified? Just because the financial advisor said, I'm going to do holistic planning. And most of them, and then the other thing they do is put you in an annuity. Right. Annuities are not designed to build wealth. They're not for wealth building. They're for income distribution. So you got to understand why you're getting into investments. You have to learn, don't just buy just because it sounds good and get because nobody can guarantee you anything.
Yeah, there's no guarantees in life other than death, taxes, and aggravation if you get married and have kids, right?
That's right.
All right. So, hey, make sure you go over to Doug's site. Doug, just tell us again your site, where we find you, and how we connect with you on the web.
Yes, so the website is lagofinancialservices.com. Lagofinancialservices.com. That's my company website. And of course, if you want to find out ways to keep your money forever, I have another website called havemoneyforever.com. Havemoneyforever.com.
Have money forever. I'm going to that website right now. I'm going there immediately. Have money forever, man. Where was this site when I needed it, Doug?
It's just a way for us to teach you how to protect their wealth, minimize the tax liability, and pass it on to the next generation tax-free.
Hey, and that's what trusts are all about. Me as a recovering attorney, a big believer in trust. There are so many advantages we won't even go into here because if you want to know more about it, you can just shoot me an email, kl@kerrylutz.com. I'll get an answer from Doug, I promise you. And make sure you go over to my site, financialsurvivalnetwork.com, because if you follow that, you might just have money forever. And of course, Doug's site, havemoneyforever.com. And shoot me an email, kl@kerrylutz.com. Tell me about what's happened to your portfolio lately, how your retirement's looking, what are you planning to do, how have your plans changed? Doug, a pleasure always. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.